Hello my fellow board gamers and welcome to the channel all about economic board games. Today I'm bringing you an overview of Istanbul. You can see the designer just at the top there and it's brought to us by these guys at the bottom. Now this one plays 2 to 5 and it says it takes about 40 to 60 minutes, which is about right, and it's that sort of medium complexity game. And if you have to run through, I'll have brought you a video next week to go and check out. Now in this game we are merchants. We have our assistants as well, which are just below this sort of stack here, and it's kind of got that Mancala like vibe where you'll be taking them around these back streets in the bazaar of Istanbul and all the hustle and bustle, and you're trying to attain goods and money. You'll be storing goods on these wheelbarrows. You'll have your money. You'll be going to sell these at some of the large markets, the small markets. Maybe you'll go to the Sultan's palace and provide the goods to attain one of these rubies. Maybe you'll go and get extensions for your wheelbarrow so that when you do go to one of these warehouses for spice and fabric, you can fill more, because you can see you start the game here, the yellows have 3 spots to fill and they can only go to a max of 2 goods for each type. They're the 4 different ones, whereas these guys have extended the wheelbarrow, so when they go to this fabric warehouse they can then move it all the way to the end, so they've got more resources to spend. That maybe gets them more money. They could go to the gemstone dealer and spend money just to get rubies, and rubies is the name of the game. That's kind of how you're going to win. And in this sort of 2-player game you need 6 rubies. Once you've attained that, you sort of trigger game end, and if your other opponent isn't the start player, what have you, they may have one more turn. Now in terms of what you can do, then you start at the fountain. You can move your stack up to 2 places. You can go 1 or 2. You can't go diagonal. So let's say these guys go 1, 2 over to the tea house. You leave one of those assistants there, which is going to do your work for you. In this case we have come across another merchant, so we'd pay some money to that player, or in a 2-player game it go to the bank for some of these additional merchants put on the board. So you pay your 2 money if you've got it, hopefully. If not, you can use the action, and then we undertake the action. So the tea house, then you say a number between 3 and 12. Let's just say 6. You roll the dice. If you get 7, you get the amount you asked for, so 6 in this case. If it's equal or higher, you get it. If it's lower, you get compensation of 2. So are you going to take a gamble and go for 10 and then, oh no, it's a 2? Now there is some nice ways to mitigate that with some of these sort of bonus tiles at the top here, and I'll go through a couple of them now. So this one, when you get to this spot, you pay 2 resource of red and you keep this permanently, and this allows you to change a dice from one of these rolls to a 4, or you can re-roll both dice. This one here, you need to pay the 2 green resources, and anywhere you see this little warehouse symbol, so say for example this one here, you can see on that particular tile, then you can spend 2 money to get any resource you want. So you could go here, you get all the yellows, and maybe you want to buy a sneaky red. And why would you want to do that? Because you maybe want to get to Sultan's Palace next and you need these combination of goods, so a blue, red, green, yellow, and any resources you want to get the next ruby available. Or maybe you want to go to the small market, and if you can provide a blue, a red, and a green, that's 3 of the 5. So 3 of the 5 is going to get you 9 money. If you provide all 5, you can get 20 money, and then you put this at the bottom and the next one comes out. So some really nice ways to get money there, and there's this large market as well. So these guys have gone to the tea house, they've dropped one off, they've paid their money for this, they've acquired the money. Next player goes, and these guys are like, okay, I'm going to go to the post office. They leave one there. Now at the post office you get everything that's visible, so a green, a yellow, and 2 money. You then move one of these tokens down. Next player to go there would get everything that's visible again, so this time it's a red, 2 money, and a yellow. So back to yellows then. They decide to go to the top here at the spice warehouse, and they leave one of their assistants, and literally they just maximize what they can on the resource on the wheelbarrow. So you can see how imperative it is to have more of these sections added, because if these guys had gone there, they'd have 4 resources rather than the 2, and that lets you do a whole lot more stuff, and maybe you're not having to go to certain spots as frequently on the board, because you can just get more resources from green, and then you can go over to the market maybe and just decide, right, I'm just going to spend all this resource required to get loads of money, then go to this market and spend the rest of my resource, then I'm going to spend all that money on, you know, getting these rubies at the gemstone dealer. So a host of things. Now let's just say red decides, okay, I'm going to go to this Great Mosque up here. I'm going to acquire one of these. Now, if they'd acquired both of them, they've met eligibility to take one of these rubies. That's kind of the bonus for having bought two. But you can see as you go through, first person has to pay 2. Next person here in this 2-player game anyway would have to pay 4 resources, so it gets pricey. You've also got this place, gemstone, you can get rubies as well. You've got 2 of these on the board, which you've got the smuggler, and you have got the governor at the top in purple. And now when you meet these individuals, you get special actions, and this is all demonstrated really nicely on this player aid. So you can see, if that focuses in the governor, you get an option to take 1 bonus card from the top of the deck, and you can either discard one of your cards because you start with a couple of one in your hand, or you might have a couple of others as well, and you can discard one, or you can just pay 2 money, so you keep both cards, and then you re-roll the dice to determine the location. You can see each location's got numbers on them as well to help you out. The smuggler, similar, it's optional. You take 1 good this time, and you can give 1 good back, so it's like a bit of a, trade one in and attain a new one, or you can just pay 2 lira for that good. And it's got all your bonus cards at the bottom here, which is really nice description as well. So in terms of on your turn, we've shown you moving 1 or 2 places, and you place it next to the bottommost of your assistant. Now you can also place it on the top of your assistant if there is one there. So this is the yellow's turn, say, and they're over here. If they come back to the tea house, they land on top of their previous one and then undertake the action. And this is a great way of going around the board, because then when they move next time and go here, they have to leave an assistant. But when they come back to this spot, if they want to, they can attain that assistant. So it's a nice way of picking up your assistants as you go around the board. And why is that important? Because that means you're not having to worry about going back to the fountain. And you can see the iconography there. So basically, if your merchant's on his own, he can't just go and do actions. He couldn't do that, so he'd have to come back to the fountain on your turn, and then you get all those assistants back from all over the board, and that's your turn just acquiring all your assistants back. There's also a nice slot up here. So at the Great Mosque, you've got this option when you pay 2. That action allows you to have a 5th merchant. There's one on the side, so it gives you more flexibility and sort of longevity to go on the board. Or this one where you pay 2 money and you can bring an assistant back from anywhere on the board to your stack. So some interesting options there. So what else have we got then? You got various warehouses that give you the relevant resource. We've done the tea house. The Wainwright extends the capabilities of your wheelbound. When you complete it, you get a ruby. You got the spice warehouse. Yeah, we've gone through those actions at the Great Mosque. We've got this one where you can go and either take the top card or ones from the deck. We've done the post office gemstone dealer. Yep, you're literally paying money to get gems. Large market is exactly like the small market, but a little bit more money there because the blues are slightly scarcer. Fountains where you go to come and get all your assistants back. Yeah, we're happy with the markets. Black market, then you literally can take either a red, green or yellow, and you roll 2 dice. Whatever the outcome is, you get a certain amount of blues. Small mosque we're happy with. Sultan's Palace, you've paid all them goods. Small market and the police station, we've completely forgot about the police station. So if you go to the police station, let's say Reds come over here, you drop an assistant, they can send their family member to go and cause bother. So they go around anywhere on the board, and let's say it's going to take them ages to go 1 2 to here, 1 2 to here, 1 2 to here. They can go straight with the family member to the spice warehouse and use that as their action. And now if an opponent, let's say yellows, where are they? Yellows meet another opponent's family member, they send them back to prison. They've caught them and they're busted, so they come back here. So potentially red on a future turn could do that. And the yellows get a benefit, which is all on your card here. So if you meet another family member, you send them back to the police station, you take 1 bonus card or free money. So good job there. Now I should add, you can't do the same action you were on last time. You have to move at least 1 or 2 spots. Some of these bonuses, you can see this one lets you move 3 or 4. So really nice bonus cards there. And you literally just keep going round. You're attaining that money, attaining that resource, trading them in for various things. First player to get all 6 ruby in this 2-player game anyway will trigger game end. The other person may have a turn, and that is it. Now the key to this game is the variety, because you can see these sort of modular boards. They'll be completely determined by luck at the beginning of the game, and you're having to decipher which strategy is best. Maybe here you can see, right, the post office and the tea house, you're going to get loads of money. Come and get the gemstone dealer. Sometimes the markets are kind of really far away from warehouses. At the top here, you might decide, right, I'm going to go initially, I'm going to go here, get the yellow, then I'm going to go Great Mosque and get that bonus, then I'm going to go to this green one and work my way over to here to get that bonus. Maybe I'm then going to go here and get the right resource so you can get all the bonuses early on, because if you do so, then you don't have to worry about, you know, extending your wheelbarrow, whereas your opponent, because you only start with the maximum capacity of getting 2. The tiles below this require 4, so your opponent all of a sudden is having to extend their wheelbarrow just to be able to get these bonuses. So it's kind of a little bit of an engine builder for your merchants and assistants. And there we are, folks. That is Istanbul. Enjoy.